Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Mr. Martino here. And this week, what we're going to be looking at is the Black Death. So, as we look through this gloomy time, our learning target is we're going to be able to create two recommendations to medieval European leaders to recommend how do we slow the spread of Yersinia pestis. And you should be, by the end of this, know the causes of the Black Death. How do we today in modern societies deal with infectious diseases? And then analyze the issues that really spread the Black Death rampantly within medieval Europe. So this is the order of our learning for this unit. First thing, you're going to read or watch the learning on the COVID-19. Step two, insert it into this shared Google Doc. You're going to be, for steps 3 and 4, it's really the same thing for the Black Death. And then you're going to be putting in your test or quiz 2 recommendations. So this is the directions for step 1. Here you will read these, and this is where you will find that information. You need to pick one or multiple one of these articles or videos and start to answer the questions that you see here. So first off, you're going to have to write down what's the name of it. Then you're going to have to write down what does it recommend to slow the spread or stop the spread of COVID-19. Third thing that you need to do is what are some examples of the correct way to do this? And how will this help slow the spread? So this is step 2. After you've read through those pieces, you want to start looking at these articles. I'm going to click on this link. Oh, it's going to take me to the article that I need to go to. Here I put an example of what I did. So as you can see, I put the example, so I put my initials, and I read this piece from Teen Health Coronavirus. This one was looking at social distancing. One of the ideas behind social distancing is staying 6 feet away from people. There's other ways to do social distancing as well. You can read those in the article. And how do we do this? Well, or why is this going to help slow the spread? It's fewer people being sick. So then you won't have too many doctors having their caseload become unmanageable. You're going to do the same thing here for step 3 and 4 as you did for 1 and 2. So you're going to read the article in or the video, and or you can do both. That's great. Here is the video for the article for this one. Note, it is in Discovery Ed. It will be assigned to you through Discovery Ed. So you're looking at explore pages 1, 2, and 3. Take note of that because I use that in my example down the road. And here we have the Black Death Google Doc link. This is where you're going to put one piece of information that you read as you were going through your Black Death information. So if I were to click on this, it takes me to the Black Death. Here, Mrs. Trout put an example in where it says, how did this spread from person to person and from country to country? It spread from sailors in Italy to trading seaports. What was the time frame for the main spread? How did people die? She has her response here. And she filled these out. So as you're going through these pieces, you want to keep these questions in mind. And you're going to be making your recommendation. This is the last step, and this is where you're going to be putting this into Schoology. So you are an advisor for the leaders of medieval Europe. Your leader has asked you to find credible information to slow the spread of the Black Death. How you spread your message to people. So these are just ideas here that you might be thinking of as you're given a recommendation, these questions all don't need to be filled out for everyone, but you should, they, they're suggestions for a route that you could take. And I'll show you an example of what I mean for this. This is the rubric that we're kind of looking at for excellent work, good work, and satisfactory work. So to get excellent work, you've given your recommendation, your plan to execute the recommendation, potential problems with your recommendation, and your sources included. So here, this is an example of how to write a recommendation. So I said the first recommendation that is to help the townspeople is by making sure that their homes are clean. We know that the disease is spread by fleas that live on rats. Most people have floors which are made of rushes. And I put the Discovery Ed tab 3 there. These rushes are breeding grounds for bacteria. To combat this, we need to clean the house, these surfaces, since the disease can stay on them for periods of time. And I found that information from the CDC. We recommend that homes dig up these surfaces and replace them with concrete to prevent the infection of the Black Death. The potential problem with this solution is that if a worker has the disease during the replacement of the floor, more people could become infected. So this is a response that would get you more 3 points here for excellent work, because I had the sources included, potential problems, and an execution plan and recommendation based on the information there. And that's what you're going to be putting in your test or quiz in Schoology. So one of the big things before I end this is, as we are talking about the Black Death, just take note that they actually had no clue how the Black Death was being spread. In fact, they tried many different ways, many different things to kind of what they thought would help prevent the Black Death. But really, a lot of them were unsuccessful. So I'm looking forward to seeing your responses in the Google Docs and your Schoology assignments.